Hello and welcome to A Cup of Conversation. I'm your host John Guzzi and this is BRT2 TV. On the show this week I have two guests, two musicians I'm sure that those of you who go around the musical circuit in North Cyprus will recognise. I've got Alan Bartholomew and Gavin Simons as my guests, and we'll be talking about their music and also about Accord Entertainments Limited, a company they've established here in the TRNC. First of all guys, welcome to the programme, welcome to the show.
Hi.
We'll start with a man I've just met minutes ago, literally. Hello, Alan. Welcome to the programme for the first time. And it's good to have you here. Now, Alan, tell us a bit about yourself. Where are you from originally in the UK?
I'm originally from Kent in the UK.
From Kent?
But I've spent most of my life in the London area. I spent most of my working life in that area. And until I retired and find myself in North Cyprus.
As many people often do, retiring to the TRNC. Now, how many years ago did you retire?
Coming 3 years.
So you're a relatively new person to the TRNC then?
I've been coming to North Cyprus since about 2004.
All right, so you've known about the island for many years?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
How did you find out about the island? I mean, what brought you here back in 2004?
Some friends of mine lived here, so we explored and liked what we saw. And bought some property. And
here you are.
Here I am.
Happy to be here?
Absolutely.
Great.
Absolutely.
Good to have you here. And you are a musician,
yes,
aren't you? What's your instrument?
Drums and percussion. If it makes the sound and you hit it, I like to play it.
That's good to know. You're not going to hit me, are you? I'll make a sound if you hit me. All right then. Well, it's good to have you here on the show, Alan. And Gavin, we met before a few times. You've been on the radio programme with Denise a few times. Gavin Simons, I'm sure many people recognise you. You've been out and about on the circuit for many years.
I haven't got my hat on though.
You haven't got your hat on though today, so they might not recognise you. But Gavin, how long have you been here in the TRNC?
Been visiting the island regularly for about 20 years. We bought a property in 2000, 17 years ago, but living here permanently 6 years, come Christmas, this coming Christmas.
Right, so 6 years, that's a good time for you to be here.
It's just about settled in, yeah.
Yeah, just about settled in, 6 yees. It takes a long time to get used to the TRNC. Yeah. And where are you from originally in the UK?
Well, I was born in London, but I lived in Gloucestershire for over 30 years. So we moved here from Gloucestershire. So a bit of time in the West Country and down in the southwest of England.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you are, I mean, I'm sure people who recognise you with the hat on, that you are a singer and a musician yourself, aren't you?
Yeah, I sing, and in the UK I was a bass player. And when we came here to the TRNC, I started to perform as a solo act with just playing guitar. And it's progressed over the years. We've gone from just me and the guitar to a bit of a drum machine, and now I'm using backing tracks like.
So it's a one-man show?
One-man show, yes. for however many hours you want, I'm there, you know.
That's good to know, good to know. So Alan, let's go back to, so was your profession back in the UK as a musician and you retired, or what were you doing as a day job?
I started as a youngster thinking that I was going to make a career in music, and the reality of that being very difficult, and family and career, I put it on hold. And I rediscovered it probably about 10, 12 years ago. Never thought it would happen. I thought those days were behind me, but wasn't to be. So now I consider myself to be, it's my job, I'm a musician.
So when did you begin as a musician? I mean, you say that you put it on hold. So when you were at school, how did you begin?
I guess I was, it's some time ago sadly, but I would say probably in my teens. Mm-hmm. And I gave it up, so to speak, probably when I was about 28. So quite a long hiatus, really, but...
Quite a long hiatus, but it's good that you're back with it now.
Oh, absolutely.
Are you happy? Is it what makes you happy in life, music?
Yes, it's probably my life. I mean, you know, I can't imagine life without music. It's an impossibility for me. I
mean, a lot of people love music and a lot of people listen to music, but to actually do what you want to do, as in when you're a musician, to play music, is a different, ball game.
We're very lucky people. I mean, we're doing something that we love. Dare I say, at a stage in our life where we probably didn't expect to be doing it, I guess.
Not quite so intensely.
No. So yeah, I'm very, very happy. I wouldn't change it for the world.
So tell us about, you came to North Cyprus to retire, in inverted commas, but you are actually working, or semi-working, not you now, still, because are you actually, because I know about Gavin, and I know that we see him, out and about at different bars and restaurants locations. Are you also doing the same thing? Are you out there in North Cyprus performing?
Oh, yeah, I'm a gigging musician, so I play as often as I possibly can. Because I play drums and percussion, I play as a supporting function for other musicians. So I will play with anybody who I think actually there'll be some musical merit in doing that. So yeah, I work as much as I possibly can. 7 days a week if I have to.
That drum kit will travel, in a way.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
It's good. I mean, it's good to be doing what you enjoy doing.
Oh, yeah. As I said, we're very, very. I feel very lucky and very privileged to be doing something that I love.
Did you come to North Cyprus with the intention of continuing your music, or?
Yeah. Before I actually decided to retire, I was playing music here anyway, but of course it wasn't for long periods. I was spend as much time as I possibly could. I'm playing with various people, including Gavin, and I remember we used to play.
We played together many times.
Yeah, we did. So that I can't say it was part of an intentional game plan. It kind of evolved, but I was quite happy for it to evolve over the kind of, I suppose, 2004 is when I first. So I've probably been playing since about 2006, 2007. So there was a long period before I decided to retire. So I knew a lot of musicians. I was part of that network. People that most of them are still here, and I still know and still occasionally play with. So it evolved, I think, is probably the best way to describe it.
Before you officially retired, and you came to Cyprus before your retirement, you sort of like knew the system here. You knew what was going on in a way. You had your contacts.
Yeah, I was familiar with. I mean, obviously, I'm a lot more familiar now because you have to live here to fully appreciate it. But yes, I had an understanding of how things worked. Yeah.
Excellent. Gavin, what about you? I mean, you're a one-man show now, but was that always what you were doing back in the UK as well before you came to North Cyprus?
No, not at all. No, I used to play bass with various bands. With a lot of blues bands, rock and roll bands, country bands, and I did that for many years. And a little bit like Alan, in our teenage years, and you think the world is going to open up in the world of music, and then you suddenly realise, well, no, it's not. And so work and careers and things took over, and families, and so as one gets older and you get more time. You can settle down and start doing the things that you really want to do, and music's quite great fun. I mean, I personally, I know I work here now with backing tracks. I play my guitar along with it, but I hanker for the days of just playing in a band. But those opportunities are quite rare here.
Yeah.
From a commercial point of view.
You still get your bass out occasionally.
I still get the bass out every now and again, but hopefully that will become more frequent in the future. Who knows? We'll see. But get a buzz from the music, and even though I'm working as a one-man band, as it were, when you have a good night, it's great fun. It is good fun.
I mean, it is good fun here in North Cyprus, especially when you've got the summer season and people are here to enjoy themselves, to go out and enjoy themselves. There's a good buzz from the crowd, I think, in North Cyprus. So wherever you are, wherever you're playing, it's probably going to be a good gig that night.
Well, yeah, it can be. I mean, different nights, different people, different agendas. Some nights one's playing and and you haven't got the party animals there, but they appreciate what's going on and they appreciate the music and everything. And other nights, people just want to get up and party and dance and and have a bit of a revel. So. You know, different days, different gigs, and that's what's nice about it. It's always different, and because of the way I work on my shows, for me every night is different, because the way I work is I encourage the audience to pick from a menu of songs, and there's over 200 songs on there. So I could be doing anything. You know, I'll go with a plan. But very often my plan gets scuppered by what people choose. And it's quite interesting, because you play, I mean, I play regularly at Pia Bella Hotel, and there is the certain genres of music that people will pick for there. And I'll go and play in a restaurant in Essen-Tepe or something, and it's completely different, you know. So.
What's your genre of music, would you say? I mean, if you were left to your own devices with your playlist, what type of music would you enjoy performing the most?
I would think the sort of soul blues genre is what I enjoy the most. Well, I'm getting into some of the more modern tracks and things. I'm trying some of the more modern stuff out. I've sort of shied away from it, but they are so popular, some of the more modern stuff, and I'm giving it a go. It seems to be going down reasonably well. But then when I say modern stuff, I'm talking maybe up to 15 years ago.
I got to say, I'm trying to envisage you being another Ed Sheeran of recent times.
No, I do an Ed Sheeran song, but no. Got the wrong colour hair anyway. Well, I haven't got any hair.
Would you want to be ginger instead? I think you're all right as you are.
Okay.
You're okay as you are, Gavin. But when you say modern, you know, coming up to 15 years ago is probably what is modern for you. But you're happy with soul, blues, and whatever
I'm happy with anything.
wants.
I mean, it's for me, it's about quality music. There are certain things and certain songs that I will not do, because I don't. Not because they're not popular songs, it's because I actually don't think they're very good. I'm maybe in a minority of one, but if I don't like the songs, then I find them hard to perform.
Yeah.
And I just don't do them. I don't need to mention which ones they are, but there's songs that I know if I did them, they go down a storm, but I don't like them, and so I don't do them.
Well, obviously, if you're not enjoying performing that song, it's not going to come across to the crowd either. So, better just put an X next to that that request.
Yes.
Alan, what about you? I mean, you know, do you, as a drummer, obviously you must have some great, you know, experience behind you, and songs or tracks that you like to perform, or I mean, especially being with another person. If you're working with somebody else, is it easy or difficult? Would you like to be? I mean, how does it work for you?
Well,
musically?
Okay, to answer your question, I suppose, on a longer basis, the music I like is very simple. I like dance-orientated music. Now, I don't mean, you know, if I'm playing and people are enjoying the music and they dance, that for me is a huge bonus, because that means they're having a good time. So, you know, my preferred genre of music is soul, funk, I like jazz. We shouldn't be too negative. I don't really like heavy rock, simply because I don't get the same buzz, and I don't enjoy playing that as much as I enjoy playing some of the soul stuff. So, you know, I'm quite simple in my approach and my philosophy about how I like to hear music. It should be fun. It should make you want to dance. It should make you feel good.
Yeah.
And you know, that feeling, if you succeed in doing that, is you know, it's second to none. It's lovely. But you know, I actually like to consider, I mean, like Gavin, I have a wide taste in music. And as I get older, I find, like last night, for example, we closed. We were playing in a restaurant. We closed with "Wonderful World," Louis Armstrong.
Yeah.
Now, in my younger days, you would never see me anywhere near that, because I didn't appreciate it, I didn't understand it, and I thought it was a pretty poor example of pop.
Yeah.
I now enjoy playing it.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm growing up musically. I don't know.
You're mellowing out a bit more, enjoying a bit of Louis Armstrong.
But also, you know, I think I would agree that it's always better to be playing music than to be so selective and so precious that you refuse to play certain things. Always playing music has got to be better than not playing anything at all. So
I think you have a more, or a little bit more of a difficult job than Gavin does, because Gavin being a one-man
Oh, of
show, he
course.
can do what he wants. You know, as a musician, and he being up there as a one-man show, whereas you're really supporting other people.
Yeah.
Is it easy for you to? I mean, if someone comes to you and say, you know, come on, you know, please. Play the drums for me while I perform, or are you? I mean, how does it work for you? Because you know you're you know not up there by yourself as Alan Bartholomew. You're not. You know, you're actually in the wings. You know, obviously very important.
It's a support function.
It's a support function.
Yeah,
but
we're playing
for you,
for
you've
the
got
song
to.
and yeah, I mean, the other great thing, I've always had a wide interest in percussion, the whole kind of sphere of percussion.
Yeah.
The great thing for me is, particularly the last 3 or 4 years, I've got an array of, I try and play anything. So I play Latin American stuff with congas and timbales, cajones. So for me, that's maintained an interest in the whole kind of world of percussion. And over here, because I play with different people, I have the opportunity to actually play different equipment. So I'll play, in one particular band, I'll play the full drum kit. Last night I was playing an array of different percussions, which, you know, and it keeps you alert, it's testing you, and it keeps you versatile. And I've got to a stage in my life where all the things I value, I think versatility from a musical point of view is incredibly important. And it's very satisfying, because when you can take on these different genres and different approaches to music, you feel you're making some progress, and you learn every day. You never stop learning.
For you especially, because if someone comes along and you're going to be working with them, and they come up with a you know, a playlist that they say, well, in this set I want to do this, 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 and you're thinking, well, you know, I've never done that. Are you up for new challenges like that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the performance is always matching my enthusiasm, but you have a go.
Yeah.
And most times, I think it works for us, doesn't it? Pretty much.
It's really, I mean, it's interesting to see how things have changed in North Cyprus musically, where, you know, before we didn't have such a great variety of performers here, but now I see that there are lots of people out there giving, you know, their own style to the public, and there's something for everyone, for all tastes out there. And that's where we can talk about now Accord Entertainment Limited. Who wants to, I mean, okay, Gavin, tell us a bit about Accord now, because I know that you got a page on Facebook about Accord, and you share your gigs there and other gigs there. Other artists share their performances coming up on that page. Tell us a bit about Accord and what you are doing with Alan.
Well, going back a step, when I first came to the island and started playing a little bit in bars, in the back of my mind I was thinking, well, you know, I'll just do a little bit here for a bit of pin money and whatever. I think Alan probably had the same idea. Yeah. And then, of course, as you learn, you realise there are certain rules that one should stick to if you're working in public and that sort of thing. So we've found that we were in need of getting a work permit, so that we were able to do what we wanted to do without, or should I say, by complying with the rules in place. So between us, we decided that we would set up a company, Accord Entertainment, the purpose of which was to provide each of us with a work permit to enable us to work in different venues, because that was always the difficulty. We could always go to a venue and I could get a work permit, but then I couldn't go and play somewhere else. So we needed to set up an agency, which is what we did. And having set that agency up, we found ourselves in a position where we can offer to employ people, musicians, if they wanted to like us, be on the right side of the regulations. So that's what we've done. We've got 2 acts that are registered apart from the 2 of us, and another one with the applications going in immediately after Byram. This is our first year, so at the end of this year we'll have 5 registered acts that are contributing to the economy of North Cyprus. And there's obviously an invitation for any other expats or people that are musicians that would want to take that route to come and join us, and they're more than welcome to do so. And it just means that we feel part of the system, as it were. But it's turned what it was a hobby into a job, as you mentioned earlier on. So it now becomes a little bit more serious because there are commitments that have to be made and taxes that need to be paid. So it all becomes a little more serious. So we have to work a little harder in getting the jobs and making sure the diary is reasonably full. But we're basically, Accord Entertainments is really there to facilitate that, to be able to be registered and to work here in the TRNC without worrying about if somebody comes and wants to see a permit, you can show them a permit, it's not a problem. And that's what it's all about. So we have peace of mind, we can just relax and get on with what we want to do, which is the music.
That's very good to hear. And as you say, it's quite a new venture for you, about a year old, and you have about 5 or 6 acts. So how does it work, for instance? Let's say somebody's watching now, and they're an entertainer here, or they're a musician or a singer, and they want to join. I mean, do they just come and speak with you and say, is it easy, relatively easy process for them to come in?
It's a fairly simple process. It's the same process as we would have to go through for any work permit. There are certain documents that have to be provided and fees to be paid and blood tests. It's very similar to residency in that respect. And if somebody comes to us and says, they're interested, we will explain the process to them for the documents, and also we will go into a great deal of detail about the financial commitment, because it is a serious financial commitment for one of our employees. Once that's all agreed, then the rest of it is fairly simple. It's just handing over money and get the stamp in the passport and then go and do it. But I was going to say unfortunate, but it is just the way it is. I mean, it costs a little over £1,000 a month to maintain the work permit. Because we work internally. It is a business, but everyone is treated as self-employed. But all within one umbrella. So various insurances and VAT and all that sort of thing has to be covered, and we all take a share in that, and we all contribute to that. And that's where the financial commitment comes in, because it's a regular monthly thing that has to be done.
But we have to say, really, that you're not a money-making business, we're here to, make lots of money. And
never the concept.
That's not the concept. The concept is just to help people go down the right track when it comes to legally performing at venues here in the TRNC. Do you help artists to get venues as well then? I mean, does it work, or are venues coming to you and say, do you have somebody in your books who would suit my profile?
Yeah, 1 or 2 venues have come to us and say, who have you got? I mean, I've worked out a Christmas programme for Malpass Hotel, because they've come to me and said, who have you got, who can we have at Christmas? So I said, well, these are who available, this is what they cost. I'm waiting to hear back from them. And also Pia Bella Hotel has asked me for a list of artists and things. So yes, it does happen. We haven't set ourselves up as an agency in as much as we're going to get people work and give them take commissions and that sort of thing. We can, if a venue came to us and said, have you got somebody who can play on such and such a day? Then we can do that. We will facilitate it. We'll arrange it. It's not a problem. But when we've made no promises that that's what we're about, if we can do that as our artist base grows, and as the people get used to the idea of Accord Entertainments and get in touch and say, well, yes, can you find us somebody? Then yes, we can fulfil that role. That's not a problem. But that isn't our primary aim, although we're quite prepared to do it. So, again, the individual can get their permit from you and then go off and find their own gigs later on, not necessarily going via you for, you're not going to say to them, right, you're now under my umbrella, you have to now go where I want you to go. No, we take no commissions on gigs unless we actually source them and hand them out and say, right, okay, that's supplied by us, and then there are various rules that apply. No, they're free agents. They can do what they like. We encourage our acts to stay in contact with each other and us by having a monthly meeting get together, basically to sort out the finances for the previous month.
Yeah.
So we'll have a meeting, we'll have a chat, cup of coffee, and what's going on here, what's going on there, so we can all be aware of what's going on around us. And we do ask our acts to stay in contact with each other, because we're all going to be going to similar venues, the same venues, trying to get the same work, and that can cause friction. So what I tend to say to people is, well, if you're going to go somewhere where another one of our acts is working, then at least you can do is just give them a phone call and say, well, look, I've been offered this there, I just want to let you know that that's happening, so that everybody knows what's going on. And there's quite enough work available for registered acts up here. We have a slight issue sometimes with the number of cross-border acts, which can be a little frustrating at times.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But there's nothing we can do about that. We can seek clarification about their status, but we can't do anything about them. So we just have to work around them a little bit.
But as you said, there are lots of locations here for lots of people to go and perform at. I think a lot of people now, a lot of restaurants and hotels and bars are trying to add that extra thing for their clientele, for their audience, for their customers, so that it makes it a little bit more special than just going out for a meal, eating a meal, going maybe live entertainment in the background, or a special gig. So I'm sure there's enough room for everyone out there. When you're on your book, because I noticed that you've got some great entertainers there. Do you sometimes feel that you got maybe too many of the same style? I mean, are you sort of think, or you don't mind who comes along? I mean, there's again, I'm sure that they'll work out with each other who's going to be doing what type of music.
It's not for us to differentiate between acts. As I say, the company is there to facilitate them being registered to work here, and what they do is really up to them. But if it's something that's very similar to another act, then we just have to make sure they're aware of it, that there are other people filling that role. But of the 2/3 acts apart from ourselves that we have, we've got Dominic Holmes, who's come to the island this year, who's a very accomplished singer and guitar player, and has a great style, and he's a very professional guy, and has worked all over the world. We've got Hugh O'Neill, an Irish guy, who plays all his music live, and is a completely different style. The new guy whose application is going in is a guy called Andy Ray, who is a jazz swing singer. Okay, so that again is completely different, and what I do is again different from those three. And obviously Alan's percussionist. So at the moment we've got quite a vibrant mix.
It's diverse, isn't it?
And so I think that's really good. And I think all the acts that we've got our name on are actually very, very good.
Yes, I've interviewed a couple of them. I've met Dominic, and I've met Hugh as well. So I know that they're very good.
Yes.
And I've heard you as well when you were on the radio with Denise. And again, everyone's a professional in their own right. Alan, what do you think about a chord? I mean, here you are. You thought you were going to retire, and now you're. I mean, okay, it's not a difficult job for you. It's what you do. It's like a job stroke hobby type thing. You love music, but did you ever envisage that you'd be part of part of something like this?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, when we first discussed this, though it's been formed just over a year, we were discussing this, I guess, for the previous 12 months.
Easily, yeah.
So it's been a sort of at least a 2-year project for us. But no, I didn't ever imagine. But the more we discussed it, the more it seemed to work for us, and then we realised that it could also work for other people as well. So it kind of. We became more and more enthusiastic about actually making this thing work. And we see it as, we're not trying to actually, change the world and become a huge corporation. And we were also keen that we were going to grow at a pace that we felt we could manage, because at the same time, Gavin and I are still working as musicians. So in actual fact, we've got kind of 2 jobs.
Yeah.
running the agency and also playing gigs. So, we had to, and we were also very determined that we weren't going to sacrifice our musical careers and become runners of an agency, because what we really want to do, I think it's fair to say, is we want to play music.
Yeah.
And that's, so we've managed to balance that and grow at a reasonable rate, which we're both comfortable with, because we could manage both aspects of our lives. So no, I didn't expect it ever.
But here you are now talking about it on television, so it's going well. Are you happy with what's been going on over the past year? With the people that you've already got on board. Has it been beneficial? Do you think that is how you envisage it? You want to do something like this to make it easier. Has it worked out?
Well, nothing in life always turns out exactly as you plan it, because that's how life is. But I think I'm very happy with the growth. I'm very happy that we can manage it, because the worst thing that we could do is get involved in a venture that actually suddenly was hard to manage, or it changed the way we were doing things. And as I said earlier on, what I like about this is we can combine the two. So yeah, I'm happy with the fact that it doesn't interfere with the musical side of my life. And we're getting more and more comfortable. We have better understanding how the agency works. What is required, and we're now in a situation where we can truly facilitate people who want to join, and we can give them advice, because it's not for everybody. Some people feel that they don't want to take that decision. We have no problem with that whatsoever.
Yeah.
But the people who do join, at least they're given the opportunity to fully understand what their commitment is and what is expected of them, what they should expect in return. And I think the people who have joined are happy with how things are going. So yeah, I'm happy.
That's good to hear. That's good news. The Accord Entertainments Limited is a very broad name, and obviously we're concentrating on music, but when it's entertainment, it could mean anything. Are you interested in anything outside of music? Maybe, I don't know, a dance group, or would you be interested, or would you not go down that sort of avenue? I mean, I'm just putting on you now, but just talk about this. When you say entertainment, it could be anything. It just seems to me that it's always music, which is a very popular thing. But I mean, what happens if someone out there would like to dance, or I don't know, you maybe have another act they've got?
Any form of entertainment would come under our banner.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it probably comes down to economics. If I don't mind if somebody's a juggler or a magician or a guitar player. If they want to join us and understand the commitment and feel they will get enough work to justify the expense, or whether they just have enough of their own personal money and want to do it as a hobby, it's entirely up to them. It doesn't matter to us. Then I mean, we wouldn't have a problem with that. I don't think, I mean, entertainment's entertainment.
Well,
happy with it.
I think the work permit is classified as entertainer, isn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't say musician; it says entertainer, I believe.
I don't know, because mine says director.
Yeah, it does. Oh yeah. I cover that.
You're based in the Guinea area, aren't you? That's where you guys often play. But I mean, let's say somebody's living in the capital, Lefkosha, or maybe out there in Famagusta, Gazimosa. Again, would you be able to sort of work with them? Could it be like not long distance? Obviously, you'd probably have to meet. But I mean, could you do things via telephone or email and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, we communicate mainly sort of on Messenger or emails, and just copy everybody in. So I mean, distance really isn't too much of a problem, as long as whoever it may be is willing to travel the distance to meet up once a month. So I don't really see that as a barrier at all. No.
I mean, it could be a venue in the Gazimosa area, or Iskele Boaz. Maybe they're looking for somebody. They could come to you and say, well, could you send somebody down for it?
Yeah, absolutely, no problem. We can make recommendations, and then it's up to the venue to negotiate with the artist the fee, because obviously travelling greater distances, fees may be different. But other than that, it's we're more than happy to pass information on.
I will also add that we're quite happy to travel for gigs as well.
Speaking of that, travelling for gigs, let's find out more about where you are. Because I mean, it'd be interesting. Maybe people come and see you if they don't already know what you're doing or where you've been, or if they haven't heard you already. Maybe some of our viewers would like to go and see you. First of all, Alan, do you have any regular gigs at the moment?
Yeah, we play at. I mean, do you want me to name the places?
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Okay, we play at Shirinala in Karshaka last night, which was a very nice gig.
When you say we, who are you with?
This is a trio. This is it's percussion, drums, guitar, acoustic guitar. Oh, it's electrified, and a young singer from Ukraine who's got a beautiful voice.
Right.
And we just do very diverse stuff. We do jazz standards, we'll do pop standards, we'll do old kind of soul things. You know, we try and make it as diverse as we possibly can. Other occasions I play with a bigger band, which is a sax, guitar, bass, vocals, and guitar, which is also made up of people who are in the trio. So we expand it by a sax and a bass player, and we play the kind of bigger venues. We play Roots. Those kind of places, which are less restaurant orientated and more just purely music venues where people go to dance and listen to the music. So again, it illustrates how diverse the venues are. I suspect, from my own experience, that if you're going out for a meal, you don't want to have a loud band in your face where you're shouting over. So we try and actually provide a musical facility, a musical entertainment that reflects the venue.
Yeah.
From a personal point of view, I like playing the purely musical venues because it means people have come there to see you, and it's they're not eating. But you have to be flexible.
Obviously, I mean, that's a good thing that you were pointing out there, because there are different venues for different things.
Absolutely.
And it could be you just want to go out and listen to music.
Yes.
Or, as you said, I want to go out for a meal, but that location has music in the background. So you have to cater for every sort of location you're at.
I think, again, as I refer to versatility is key, because the more versatile you are, the more opportunity you're going to get for playing your music to your audience. So you have to be prepared to make, like all things in life, a lot of compromises, which isn't difficult.
That's a normal thing in life, to compromise.
I think so, yeah.
And Gavin, what about you? Where are you at the moment? Where can we listen to you?
Well, at the moment I've got a regular spot at Pia Bella on Hotel in Guernsey on a Monday night. And tonight it's my opening night at Blue Door in Alson Jack. Lovely little restaurant, and that should be every Saturday.
Right.
And I have a regular booking at Zuma restaurant in Eston Tappy, and I've been fairly regular at Windows Cafe Bar in Guinea, and I'm hoping to get into one or two other new venues which I'm negotiating with at the moment. So I've been fairly busy. It's been quite a busy summer so far. It's funny, July and August we get a slight dip in bookings. I haven't quite worked out why, but it just seems to be the way.
More tourists or more people wanting to have entertainment in the summer, but maybe there's just a lull in clientele.
It may be the heat that people don't want to.
I think the expats who live abroad were just, they were just didn't want to go out because even in the evening they were laying in their pools drinking their gin and tonics or whatever.
But September, October should pick up.
I think so.
And
you got I mean, now that we're coming out of summer slowly, and then you've got well, can I say the festive season? You've got Christmas and New Year coming up. Maybe there'll be more gigs. I'm sure people, looking for entertainment for, when people want to go out, Christmas or New Year, they want to go with entertainment, somewhere. So I'm sure there'll be lots of bookings. Send us some of your guys down.
I'm fortunate enough that I'm doing Malpass on Christmas night again, which I did last year. They've asked me back, which is nice. And I'm looking forward to my New Year's Eve, because that's going to be at Veni Vici in Lapta, which is a lovely restaurant.
So a great variety there when you think about it. I mean, like Roots Bar, you were saying Chilignala, you've got Pierre Bella, Malpass, a massive hotel, you've got, Veni Vici, as you said, a restaurant. So, there's amazing variety of locations and venues.
Well, this is where the diversification comes in. Where in one's repertoire you need to be able to tailor it to these different locations. It's like if I'm playing in Windows Cafe Bar out on the street, my set is going to be completely different, apart from what people may choose, but than if I'm going to play in a restaurant somewhere or somewhere small. It'll be a more intimate setting, and you design the evening around your diners or whoever may be there. And that's, as Alan said, that's what keeps it fresh and keeps it vibrant.
Yeah.
And that's the important thing to be fresh and vibrant, to keep up with the times, because things are changing, I think, rapidly here. We are getting more and more talented entertainers coming over to the island, which means that things should be a little bit more organised, maybe in the music industry here, where there can be a way where people can choose where to go, what to see. And your diversity will allow people to choose different things at different times of the week or even the month or the year. So, it's good to have that. And finally, before we close this interview, how do we find it? So if someone is watching you now, or if an entertainer is out there who wants to join you, or if a venue wants to come and join you and to get your talent, where do we find you? Is it via Facebook?
Facebook is the easy way. A Facebook group page is Accord Entertainments, A-C Accord, so it's not the ACC. Or they're welcome to get onto my personal page, Gavin Simons, or by phone or email. All the contacts are on the Facebook page. Right.
So anyone who wants to contact you, they can find you on. Is it just Facebook? You're not on any other social media? Not on anything else? Just on Facebook?
No, we just
moment?
concentrated on Facebook.
That's enough.
I think it should be enough. For here, it seems to work. But as you know, my name's Gavin Simon, so you can find my page and get to Accord from there. Or visit my website, gavinsimons.com. Or by phone. And the phone numbers are all on the website. So.
And are you on Facebook as well?
Yes, indeed.
Alan Bartholomew. And again, via that, they can find Accord Entertainments. And I've seen that you've got posters where you put it onto the page so people can see where you're coming up next. I think I noticed Dominic and Hugh, I think, are sharing as well every now and then.
We post on the Accord page, and there's for venues there is a little a few paragraphs explaining what Accord is all about, and little bits about all our acts are posted on there as well, so you can find out any information they want from Facebook, or indeed by getting in touch with Alan or myself.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, guys, for coming in today to the show to inform us. It's very interesting, and I hope that maybe with this program and with the end of summer, maybe now that the cooler weather is coming in front of us, you might get more gigs, more entertainers coming out of the woodwork now after the heat of the summer. But good luck with all your gigs that's coming up. I look forward to hearing about where you are, where you're going, and good luck with Accord as well. And hopefully you'll have more and more entertainers joining you, and more venues also requesting your work.
Hope so. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you.
And with that, we've come to the end of this edition of A Cup of Conversation with Alan Bartholomew and Gavin Simons, great entertainers here in the TRNC. Until the next time we meet on this station, on this programme, take care and go well. Bye-bye.